Yay! Whew. Streaming software is not always our friends. Should be streaming here in a second. Ugh, that was some tough work. Streaming from multiple channels makes your YouTube API and your encoding software go a little nuts. Hey, this is my first live stream on my CysticFibrosisPurplePeopleEater channel. Just a little introduction about myself. I am 45 years old. I have CF. I have about 30 to 35% of my lungs functioning. I am an avid exerciser. I'm in the gym 6 to 7 days a week. Been doing it 7 days a week regularly up until this last year, and I finally had to back off to at least one day off. And I do attribute my heavy exercise and therapy levels that I maintain to the same level of reason that I'm still alive as my doctors and the medications there. It's they don't even have anything else to tell me anymore. They pretty much I pretty much, if I need to go in, I call them. They know I won't go in unless I absolutely have to. In fact, I kind of overdo it sometimes. I was working full-time in my chosen career. I was an ASC certified master auto technician for about 25 years. And then I was also a service manager and then also an assistant shop manager at a couple shops. The last one was an amazingly good shop, and unfortunately, Iowa City had been telling me for a few years, and that's where I do go, University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. They've been telling me I may have to consider disability for a while. Then they told me I probably should go on disability for a while. They let me put it off for years. My wife was telling me for 2 years is probably time to back down. But I count myself lucky I was able to continue working, and I knew it was coming. But I worked and prepared. I paid off almost everything we have, put some money in the bank, and now, unfortunately, I did spend 22-day hospital stint in the hospital early 2017. That's when everybody ganged up on me and said, that's it, you're done. I didn't like it, and I'm sorry, by the way, my microphone has been acting real weird. I'll try to turn it down a little and see if that makes a difference for everybody. But they all ganged up on me. Each group came in and told me separately, that's it, you're done, it's time. And they had they told me at the times I dropped so low, I dropped down to about 23% during that illness. I had what they call RSV. I picked up at work. Boss's son was sick a lot and kept bringing me illnesses, and a lot of sick people came in. I just couldn't do it anymore. So now, while they have me disability, I go to the gym still regularly, but I go during off hours when there's nobody there. Other than that, I do my own chest PT. There's one video on here of my upper PT. My lower I'll show here in another video coming up. I've been a little busy lately. I am still trying to stay busy. I do as much as my lungs will handle. I do my therapy, my own chest PT at least twice a day. I use a percussor another time or two. Do all my breathing treatments. I do a very regimented treadmill workout almost every day. I keep track of my oxygen levels, heart rate, and I lift weights. I lift a lot of heavy weight. Two groups of doctors are kind of arguing. My normal CF doctors they love my workouts. When I'm inpatient, they even give me a 3 or 4 hour window off my IV meds so I can go next door to the college field house where I get a membership and I work out for about 3-4 hours a day, or I go nuts. And they like that, and I still also do the physical therapy downstairs with everybody else. So I'm doing double the workouts, try to get as much out as I can. And I don't like sitting around very much. And Also, I am an avid, I'm now a heavy YouTuber. I do 3 channels. Two of them are smaller. This one and my other rant channel, I guess. A friend of mine from New Zealand wanted me to start. And he's right. I do need it. And also, my main channel, though, is I'm an urban explorer. I've done it off and on for 25, 30 years. But my wife suggested that I was kind of going nuts around the house and didn't need something to do. She goes, why don't you do that full time? So I am now an urban explorer. Um, I thought I was going to get more resistance from my doctors, but even the doctors at the transplant side said they were actually for that because I've been able to stabilize my lungs, hold steady for pretty steady now for almost a year, and this is right now the longest I've been out of the hospital in like 6 years. So I was going in every 2 or 3 months near the end of working. I just couldn't maintain. Um, so yeah, unfortunately, whether I like it or not, this has worked. And I have to say they were right. My wife was right. Maybe I should have backed down a little earlier, but I needed to get to a point financially and physically where I knew that I just couldn't do it anymore. But yeah, I do the urban exploring. When I told the transplant people, which they are testing me for transplant list, the transplant people are a lot more touchy. For any of you that have gone through it or talked to them, or if you're even thinking about it in the future, they're very touchy. She's only made one concession with me. I'll tell you in a minute, but I thought they were going to be a big pushback on me doing the urban exploring and the YouTube, and actually, they were very supportive of it as long as I, in bad air conditions, have masks. I was told which masks to wear when I do that, and boy, they make it even harder to breathe. So that's worked out, and I've been enjoying that. Do it as much. But one of the problems I have had with now we're going to talk. Okay, now do doctors really listen? I don't know. There's been problems off and on over the years with my doctors, known as CF care doctor. My stream went a little stupid there for a second. It showed it was buffering, but my stream health showed good. So that was a little strange. But it took a long time, no matter what I told them, to convince them. Even with the nurses backing me up and showing them, they wouldn't believe me. That by the time I hit 98.9, I was at deep fever. And I guess that runs in the family. My grandmother told me years ago she's always run about a 96 to 97 degree body temp. So it took me years. Finally, I got them convinced, and now they know that if I hit 98.9 to worry, or if I hit 98.1, start worrying. I run around at about 97.2, something like that, a little lower sometimes. But so that's, I mean, do they really listen? They seem to want to pigeonhole everybody in numbers. And for CF, just like anything else, that pigeonholing doesn't work. I mean, there are still some medical care centers, I mean, as an example, that use the body fat analysis calculation to tell if you're fat or not. And that BMI, body mass index, does not work. And if you want to go by that, with my height, I am 25 pounds overweight or so. I'm like 164 right now. I busted. It's taken me almost a year to gain back the weight I lost during that illness. I lost over 13 pounds in a matter of a few days. But I busted my butt to gain it back and gain actually a little bit of belly fat. So I'd rather lose that first when I get sick than lose muscle like I did. But BMI says I'm grossly overweight. It says I should lose about 25 or 30 pounds, and that is insanity. But there's pigeonhole numbers. They want to pigeonhole you on being on oxygen at a certain level, which I've broken. None of the transplant people or other doctors can figure out how come I don't need oxygen at my capacity level. How I can keep my O2 level so high during tests. I attribute it to working out to the extreme over the years, doing my cardio possibly harder than I should or they wanted to. Lifting really hard weights is when my bone density is good. It's a known fact that lifting heavy weights regularly forces your body to make your bones more dense. For a CFer, and especially a CF person my age, I have very few soft spots, and they're so minor, they don't worry. I'm on an unrestricted diet. My blood sugar does run a little high, and they get a little cranky with me, but it's been like that since I was a child. My grandma's blood sugar ran high her whole life. Twice the doctors tried to say she was diabetic, and when they brought her blood sugar where the supposed is supposed to be, she got very ill. And they've kind of pushed me a few times. I've resisted because of that. I seem to have her genetics between body temperature and a bunch and blood sugar and a bunch of other things. I seem to have her genetics. I don't know. It just seems like it's very hard to get doctors to listen to us. And the funny thing is, a lot of us, whether you found out at birth or you found out at a certain age that you had CF, you've been going through this for sometimes decades. And as much as a doctor's been educated, they aren't living in our skin. If a customer brings their car into me, I don't discount them when they tell me what they're hearing or feeling or what they think might be wrong, because they know their vehicle. They hear it and drive it and feel it every day. But doctors do seem to discount very heavily. It's hard. I have a cramping diaphragm issue where when it does it, I can barely breathe. That took about 7 years to get them convinced. It's a musculoskeletal problem to do with my back and all the incessant coughing over the years and forced coughing from my PT. So I don't know. I mean, have any of you ever had problems with doctors really listening? And the thing is, I really consider my care team, they're an amazing group of people. But, I mean, there are times they really think, here you are, you must fit between these lines, and that's that. So, I mean, I don't know. It is a problem. Let me know in the comments below what problems have you had with your CF doctors, if anybody even sees this. I haven't gone out of my way to promote this channel. Like I said, most of my energy is on my urban exploring channel and even a little more on my rant channel. But sometimes it's nice to get some of this out, and it's nice to get some of this out and just talk about it. And you know, I mean, I have helped a few CF people. Some of them really don't care to be helped. But at my age, you do have some experience. It's not that I have CF real minor. I've had to work super hard over the years. I mean, I can feel my pulse in so many joints and tendons and muscles right now, and things I've done to my body to stay alive. It hasn't been a... When somebody tells you at age 12 you'd be lucky to hit 18, it's kind of a sobering moment. And a very old CFer, especially old for that time, talked to a bunch of us kids, told us what it took to stay alive. Yeah. Oh, good. The trolls are out. Gotta love the YouTube trolls. Somebody come on and say something at that. Karma from the universe and karma from God. Boy, as somebody with a real illness, I can tell you right now, screw God. I know I may tick off other CF people and other people with other illnesses, but screw God. Oh, yeah, receding hairline, that's the karma. Right. Gotta love you guys. You guys are fun. That's just fun peoples here. Oh, I don't know. What do? Got all people out as trolls. What type of person does it take to be that bored? That you're so crappy with your own life, you have to wander around other people's pages and screw with them. I mean, that says something really bad right there. So yeah, it's kind of a kind of a crap thing to do, I think, but that's just me. Let's see here. What do I get? Uh-huh. like playing with the toys. Well, that's interesting. Hmm. I didn't know I could do that. There. That's interestingly different. YouTube keeps making these changes lately. Their UI is not has been as functional as it has been for a long time. But yeah, thanks BB, which is probably, if you go to the channel, it's another fake channel. They just make up to troll because they're little turds that really don't have nothing in their life. And not that I really put myself on some pedestal because of my illness, but wow, it takes a lot of something to go snipe at somebody with an illness. That's pretty nuts of you. Another thing that people won't do face to face anymore, but boy, they're damn brave on the internet. But no, back to, sorry, I let my troll bother me, and sometimes I'll do that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just dealing with something like this for decades is something a lot of people, a lot of illnesses don't understand. Um, and I've had friends have had cancer, but it's not the same thing. You don't deal with cancer for 10, 20, 30, 40 years and have a decline over that whole time. Usually you deal with cancer, you either win it or beat it in a certain amount of time. And people, like say, well, once you have cancer, you can always get, yeah, well, that's fine. You can get a lot of things again. But this illness and others like it are ones where you slowly decline over time, some faster than others. Um, sometimes it's real fast. Sometimes people never even get to an age to be able to try to fight it themselves or do anything. So yeah, then there's some people that get to a point where they can fight and really don't. I've gotten in trouble a lot of other people with my illness with CF that I busted my butt to try to get a lot of people to honestly get off their butts to exercise. Half these people won't even go downstairs and exercise in the physical therapy at the care centers they go to. I've been called stupid and moronic and a waste of time by people with CF at my own care center, and now they're dead. And by the way, if you need to know, they actually had it less than I did. Just, I did something about it. They did nothing. These are people that sit in the hospital rooms, don't do anything, and make the nurses pick up after them. Don't ever exercise. Don't go down and do physical therapy. The respiratory therapist had to wake them up in the morning, and still they don't want to do their chest PT. They don't even follow their treatment schedules at home. Go out and party all the time. Some of them even want to smoke or something. I mean, that's fine. That's just stupidity. But then there's a lot out there that really bust their butts, run marathons, and try to do whatever they can to stay around. And the ones that don't just poop on them on a lot of the forums. Seems like we're a weird mix. The ones that really bust their ass, and the ones that don't, really don't, but want to bitch at the ones who do. But no, I mean, unfortunately, I lived my life for as long as possible, letting my CF get in the way as little as possible. It's done that more, but I'm still going to do stuff that I want to do. I still want to get out and see something and see the world and at least try not to let it limit me 100%. And a lot of my videos, yeah, there's times in my videos I'm doing it, I'm puffing along pretty good, but I'm still out there seeing these places, enjoying these sites, sharing with people, other people with CF, showing you can still do stuff, even with limited lung capacity. But I mean, this is kind of a ramble, but didn't really have it. You see, it says general, so after the doctor's not listening, well, here's a question for some of you. Now, treatments. Do you ever, I'm not talking natural treatments. We all, even the doctors at the drug testing and everything else in my care center, admit that turmeric does help. So taking turmeric is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, and I'm not talking holistic crap, because that just doesn't work and it's a fact. You can have a salt lamp on all day, it won't do you any good. But I'm talking your medications. Have you ever changed your treatment schedule or medication dosages, or started taking a medication you had some more laying around without consulting your doctor or even telling them? I know a lot of CFers that take control of their own health care and do that. Of course, I remember being in the hospital when you could change the speed of your own IVs for the lockout IV machines. You want to go play, you can kind of speed it up a little. Or if somebody put a vitamin K huge cylinder in too fast and you almost couldn't breathe, you could stop it yourself instead of almost suffocating. A lot of changes. But yeah, I mean, do you change any of your own meds? Have you added, deleted, argued with them to have things changed? I just thought I'd come on and do a little bit, something here. I am not letting this channel just sit. I am planning on doing more on it. It's just, it's a lot of, it's, most of my time is, well, on my health and my other channel. But honestly, I do hope that you're all doing well. I hope you stay around as long as possible. Do as much as possible for as long as you can. With our lungs and bodies, it's imperative more than ever, more than it is for healthy people by far. Use what you got or you lose it. Sure, we lose it anyway, but you can slow the progress down. Really hard, extensive cardio regularly, at least 4 times a week. 6 or 7 would be great. Do some weight training or something, even light weights. Get out there and do whatever you can. Heck, my dog, I got a dog that has to be walked and played with regularly because he's high energy even in his old age. That's helpful. You got to use as much as you got while you got it and slow it down. At the very least, I kind of poke back at the whatever's trying to kill you. Maybe that's just being cranky or cocky, but I don't believe in letting it win easy. The older you get, the less time you get for BS, just like Mr. Troll Jr. down there. You just don't really give a rat's butt to put up with crap. I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't lie. I don't stretch the truth. If somebody asks me directly, I'll tell them. My doctors don't have to worry about me ever telling them the truth because I just tell them whatever they want to know. I keep log books of my treatments. And I write down how much I get out, how long I do with this therapy, how long I exercise, O2 levels. I got logbooks, and yeah, over the years, it's shown my decline. It can be depressing, but I can keep track of when I need to go into the hospital or need certain meds. And it's time consuming. But I've gotten to the point, the older I've gotten, I just don't have time for bull. I'm trying to keep it semi-clean. Too many people will lie to doctors, beat around the bush, make excuses not to exercise. I mean, good grief. This is your life. Why would you? I don't even understand people with our problem that are so lazy they won't go exercise. Or want to make excuses like, well, I just don't like it. Really? Do you like living? Or the younger crowd that seems to just be rushing towards lung transplant. They don't even give a rat's butt. They say, oh, I'll just get a lung transplant, everything will be fine. Hate to tell you, that's a no. The death rate among transplants is pretty high. I mean, if you rush in and get a transplant in your 20s, will you make it to the 40s like I have? Look at the average life expectancy of somebody with a transplant. It's pretty bad. Yep. Who is that? That is a couple people I know are doing a little YouTube live stream. So no, I mean, you got to look at it. I mean, I know a guy, he was 25 years old, great guy. He didn't fall, he did a little too much ignoring his health and stuff, and he did down. He probably could have kept it going longer if he'd been a little more solid on doing what he needed to do. But he did get a transplant. And when he got that transplant, he did everything he was supposed to do dead on. But he still died like a year and a half after because rejection got him. When I was inpatient, the last time I was there, I saw him there. He was upbeat, looked like he was doing good. They said he'd probably be out of there in a week. And I heard 2 weeks later he died. Out of 9 people I know that have had transplants, only, was it 4 or 5? I think it's either 4 or 5. I'm unsure which number are still alive. So it's not a guarantee. So to do not bust your butt to get as old as possible before you get the transplant or need it it's crazy. And a lot of the younger generation seems to be busting their butt not to do anything just to get to that transplant level. And that's, I don't know, maybe I was taught different, and maybe it is my age creeping up on me. Who knows? But I can't be. I know I'm not the only one. I'm not saying I'm the only CFer that busts his butt. No, I'll run into some that make me look like I do nothing. And they amaze me. There's some guys and girls out there that just amaze me for what they can do still. But I am getting older and angrier at the ones who don't do crap. The ones who whine about how much they get on disability, they haven't, when they have plenty of lungs left and should be out working, they're not. I don't do too bad on disability. I know a lot of people do a lot worse. And because I have a long work history, I worked as much as possible, paid in as much as possible. That all matters. But I really hope that some of you out there maybe watch a few of the things I'm going to post over the next months, years, whatever, and maybe I can help somebody somehow. Maybe I can, I don't know. I've put a few of my workouts on Facebook. I haven't done anything. I've only recorded a few little things for here. I can live stream on my phone if I get so many subscribers, but which I don't know if I'll ever get here since I'm not really pushing this channel. This channel is, I do it mostly for me, just to talk about things. Even if you are married or you're living with your parents still, it's hard to talk to somebody about something like this, or just to get things off your chest with somebody that's not going through it, or just to keep burdening them with stuff. I mean, my wife, I do feel bad. I feel it burdens her excessively, and it gets tiring. I won't lie to her, but sometimes I purposely just don't talk to her about certain things because it feels like just add one more thing on her plate. And you gotta wonder for people that date or marry people with an illness like ours, it's got to be really tough on them, and the fact they choose to do that is amazing. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments. If you're going to be a troll, leave them in the comments. Fine, I'll delete you. Don't matter. I'm not going to get all that hyper about it. I'm just here to maybe help somebody if I can, or just get things out of my own head. But yeah, I do have one quick thing. Are all CFers, are we all night owls? I've always been a night owl since I was a kid. And now, somehow, over the last couple months, my schedule, because of certain delays, my dad having an illness, some other things I had to do to put my treatments off during the day, I've ended up doing this super late night thing, where now I'm up till 3 or 4 in the morning and then going to bed and getting up in the morning. I'm still not getting a lot of sleep, but yeah, but a lot of CFers are night owls and or caffeine junkies. I understand the caffeine part. With our low energy levels and tight lungs, it helps. But it seems like most CFers I know over the years have always been late night people and sleep more during the late morning. Starting to wonder if that's a trait that they've studied in us, and see if there's a CF late night hang out too late gene. But yeah, leave any comments below. Like, subscribe if you feel like it, share. I'm going to try to do this more, and maybe I'll be a little more topical. But as for tonight, I'm going to leave you with a question. Do your doctors really listen? Or do you feel at times that you really have to almost club them with a proverbial stick to get them to really pay attention to what you're saying that works for you or your body? What exercise do you do to, fight your CF? What hobbies or what other activities besides just plain exercise do you do to go out there? Whether your lungs are 95% or 25%. What do you do to be as active as possible? And let me know if there's any other topics you'd like to ask me or want me to bring up. Like I said, I'm not shy. I'm used to public speaking. anymore. I've done vlogging. I've done urban exploring vids where I vlog. I very straight, dead honest. Even my wife knows, don't ask me a question if you don't want a direct answer. I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be politically correct. So other than that, keep fighting the good fight, everybody. Keep breathing. And whatever you do, just keep thinking of it this way. You have CF, but CF doesn't have you. And that's why I say a lot of times. Have a good one.